There was a decent amount of bugs I've seen during the various gameplay videos today. Here's a compilation of some of the ones I saw.
Guys, look at these pictures.
Yeah, I'm trying to get over this building. Over the building. They... Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Are you dead? I think he's moving. Oh, he's out.
They'll keep kicking long as Bland owns the deed to the property.
Then let's get him to sell.
After this? Not likely.
It'll shake him down and make him hand it over. The idols used to do stuff like that all the time.
Good call. Kev, you're with me.
Okay, take this train. Oh, wait. Oh. This isn't how any of this should work in real life. My poor feet, they're getting ground to do. Oh, okay, this is more like it.
Oh my! That curve just protected that man. Here we go, and then take it in. I don't want to get stuck. What the?
Woo! Damn! Nice job.
Never doubt me.
Easy. I got. What the? Ow! I can't shoot him.
Because often you go to these things and they're really stage managed and there's heaps of stuff you can't show or talk about and you can't capture your own footage. Deep Silver Volition put on it. I'll be honest and say that I went in excited because the preview footage I'd seen all looked pretty cool, and also the promise of a reboot of this franchise really intrigued me. After 4 hours with it, my initial impression is that it isn't much of an advancement in either regard. And that term, reboot, probably overall art direction is a little flat. Everything I saw kind of looked the same, and it's possible that I was just hanging around the one part of this map at the start of the game and that everything starts to look really different and distinct later on. But so far, Santo Alesso is absent the landmarks, burrows, and landscapes that really sear themselves into your mind. As I wrote this paragraph, I scrubbed through the whole 4 hours worth of footage that I had just to see if I'd forgotten some really standout location, but I hadn't. I found things to be a little rough. Facial animations were a little undercooked, lip syncing was sometimes not synced, which really took me out of cutscenes. Animation pairing during takedowns was really bad, and more than a few of the takedowns I performed had some janky pairing issues that looked pretty silly. The controller aim is terrible. I played around with stuff like dead zones to try and improve that. It really didn't make much of a difference. It just feels so sensitive and without nearly enough snap to support given the number of targets you're rapidly switching between. Just so you don't think I'm alone in this, Austin came with me to this preview event and he was sitting right next to me, and I leaned over and I was like, "So, what do you think of the controller aim?" And he was immediately like, "Oh my god, it's so bad." And it was really unpleasant to shoot stuff with a controller, to the point where some missions actually include shortcuts to shoot explosive items. Sometimes you get a prompt to press the Y button, at which point your character will automatically target and shoot explosive barrels or whatever. If you had good, responsive aim controls, why would you need this? Two other gripes related to camera. So firstly, when you're on foot and shooting a gun, there's no option to switch the side that you're aiming from. You're always shooting over your right shoulder. That means if you want to shoot from behind cover, you can only do so from the right-hand side of that cover. If you want to shoot from the left side, you need to move completely out of cover because you can't switch hands. That's pretty lame. That's a pretty basic third-person shooter mechanic that's been around since third-person shooters were a thing. Surely wouldn't have been too hard to have implemented that. Second issue is controls and camera while driving. So there are no camera toggles while driving. There isn't like a higher up view, a lower set view, first-person view, nothing. There's just the one perspective, and that camera perspective isn't locked to the back of the car. As you are driving, you need to constantly control the camera because if you just turn the car, the camera remains in a fixed position. I also emailed Deep Silver to confirm that there wasn't any missing settings or options, and they confirmed for me that no additional camera options are available. This is it. So this is a 2020 urban open world game. It's a reboot of a 2 decades old franchise. It's a game where a huge chunk of it is spent either shooting stuff or in a car, or shooting stuff while in a car, and it's absent some pretty basic features that I don't think are unfair expectations at this point. Facial and combat animations, lip sync, controller issues, and missing camera options, but it was also very one note. Enemies lack distinctive capabilities, they can't coordinate as a group, your movement kit is very limited, your weapons don't have advanced mechanics to deepen combat, you can't interact with the environment except to stand behind cover or blow up the occasional barrel, your melee animations are really stiff and stilted, you can't block or parry attacks, at least I don't think you can, if you're killing lots of fools. But so far, these things aren't deepening the combat experience or making it more appealing to me. To the hands-on session, I thought I was going to be one of those people, but as time went on, I realized I probably wasn't going to be, and so I kept playing to see if I could find that thing to get me excited about that August 23rd release date. Sadly, I couldn't find it during my 4 hours with Saints Row.